I'm still into you. I should be over all the butterflies, but I'm into you. I'm into you. And baby, even on our worst nights, I'm into you. I'm into you. Let 'em wonder how we got this far, 'cause I don't really need to wonder at all. After all this time, I'm still into you. was a playboy, Bridget Bardot. She showed me things I didn't know. She did it right there, out on the deck. Put her canine teeth in the side of my neck. And in the hallway, waiting
Why
for
Alien
me.
Dance?
Mini skirt and my go-go boots. I just want you to make a move. So slow down, sit down, it's new. I just wanna get to know ya. Guess I didn't quite think it through. Fell in love with the thought of you. Now I'm choked up, face down, burnt out. Baby, why don't you come over? Red wine supernova, falling into me. Let's pick it up now. I don't care that you're a stoner. Red wine supernova, fall right into me. I like you like long hair, no bra. It's my type. That's right. You just told me, want me to fuck you, baby. I will, 'cause I really want to. I just wanna get to know ya. Guess I didn't quite think it through. Fell in love with the thought of you. Now I'm choked up, face down, burnt out. Baby, why don't you come over? Red wine supernova, falling into me. Okay, y'all, let's pick it up now. I don't care that you're a stoner. Red wine supernova, fall right into me. Well, back in my house, I got a California king. Okay, maybe it's a twin bed and some roommates. Don't worry, we're cool. I heard you like magic. I got a wand and a rabbit.
So, baby, let's get
freaky, get kinky. Let's make this
bed go squeaky.
Why don't you come over? Red wine supernova, falling into me. I don't care that you're a stoner. Red wine supernova, fall right into me.
Y'all, I have been waiting to watch Chapel's new music video. I have been waiting. There are certain things that I wait. I will have you all know. I wait until the next time I can stream so that we can experience it all together. So we will be watching. We will be listening. We will be learning. We appreciate your self-discipline. The things that I do. Anyway, hi, everybody. Welcome in. I hope y'all's Saturday is great so far. Or Sunday, depending on where you are. Or maybe Friday. I don't know. I don't know what dimension you're in. Carlos, thank you for the 32 months. Manang Hassan, thank you for the 25 months. Kiz
Glenn,
Dork,
give
thank you for the
love.
22. Ghost, thank you for the 31. Oh, I always get confused when I see like all these shout outs on my feed and I'm like, where did these come from? That's nice. People must have just been shouting me out in their stream, which is very kind. I appreciate that. Okay, all right. So yesterday was just a phase. I'm no longer emo. I have come to the realization that it really was a phase. So I am no longer emo. I have given it back to the real emos. But anywho, okay, let me just catch you up on personal life things. So last night was crazy. Was crazy. I mean, I wrote this in the Discord, but so we went to our friend's birthday, and that's why I was dressed as emo. And on the way there, I had to pick up the cake. So I put in like 2 stops for the Uber. I had the Uber wait. Will was sitting in the Uber, and then I like went around the back of Baskin Robbins to like go get this cake. As I'm about to walk in, I hear this horrifying sound, like just this really loud screech, crash, crunch, so loud. I look up and I just see this Mercedes like
Thank you for
on
creating
top.
this amazing community. Kwon Love hope to be a part of it for a long time coming.
Last beta, thank you for the 17 months. Soft like a bunny, thank you for the tier 1. I see this Mercedes that's just like on top of this moped driver that's pushed it all the way across traffic. And what happened was this driver in this Mercedes tried to take this quick turn, I believe, and just smashed into this DoorDash driver. So and like moved this driver across 3 lanes of traffic. Like that's how far he was shoved. Or that's how far he like the moped was on the side, and it just like slid it across. Here's the craziest part. The driver pulls into the park, like there was this little parking lot that I think it was trying to get to, and it started to slow down. Started to slow down, and it looked like it was going to stop. And meanwhile, like I'm screaming for help, I was like, help, somebody help this guy. I run across the street, and there's like so much traffic going north. So I run across the street, and this guy, I thought he was dead. Like I genuinely thought he was dead. And I was just like, I have to run over to him, but I think he's dead. And I look up to try and get like eyes on the car. And then suddenly it starts taking off. And I realized it was a hit and run. Like this driver was going to try to get away. So I start screaming because like there were a lot of people around, but I think everyone was kind of in shock. I mean, what's wild, y'all, is I just had this conversation on stream a couple days ago where I was like, I'm not really great in situations where there's blood, where like somebody's hurt, especially if it's someone I know. But it was this bizarre thing where nobody seemed to have snapped into action. And so it kind of jarred me out of my own shock. So I like ran to where this motorcyclist was, and then was like yelling at people to get a picture of the license plate. I was like, somebody stop the car, like get a picture of the license plate. And and then a couple other people ran over to like check on the motorcyclist. Other people started forming a square so that like the oncoming traffic wouldn't would stop. And I saw one guy like trying to chase after the Mercedes, and luckily people got pictures. They saw the cool story, bro. Are you saying that to me? Are you saying cool story, bro, to me about this DoorDash driver who I witnessed almost die last night? Can you just verify? Can you verify if you're being condescending about me telling this story that was like very devastating for this poor motorcyclist who was just trying to do his job and was like almost fucking killed, and the driver drove away? I'll wait. I'll wait for about 10 more seconds. Anything you recognize that you're being an asshole, if that's what you're saying cool story, bro, to? Okay. I hope that if this ever happens to you, you then never have somebody say about you like this traumatic thing that happened. Like if you were to get in an accident, that someone wouldn't be like, cool story, bro. I just hope that never happens. Okay, great. Okay, we're just going to move on. Okay. So anyway, luckily, like I'm sure there's cameras, and there were plenty of bystanders who took note of the car, who jumped into action then. And I was like, I was shocked that Will didn't hear it. And I kept waiting for him to like get out of the Uber and come over, but I think he was just couldn't hear anything. And so I called him 6 times in a row, and it wasn't going through. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I ran over there, and I guess he had like the spot that our Uber was in, there was no service. So I was like, I need your help. And so I had him come over, and by that point, like, the motorcyclist had blood, a lot of blood, like his arms seemed really fucked up, but he was like kind of trying to stumble to his feet. I think he was really like he just had head trauma, or a lot was going on. And so I was like, Will, I need you to help with this guy, because very disoriented. And so Will and this other guy then helped the motorcyclist over to a bench, and we're just kind of trying to like hold him because he was clearly very out of it. And then finally the ambulance came, like people called 911. And what's crazy is that there were a couple of my friends who were going to this party too. They drove by the accident site, and when they saw what happened, they called 911. And then the police were like, yeah, we've had a couple of reports about this. And so when we all eventually got to the party and we were talking about they were like, oh my God, we were driving by and we saw it too. We tried to call the cops, but I guess a number of people had. So like, it was one of those where it was like, it it was like really traumatizing to witness this happen to this poor guy, and then the driver driving off, but to see how many people got involved to like try and help, to try and do what they can. Like we were all sharing information. We were trying to see like who saw what before the cops got there, so that like nobody left, because it was only me and then this other woman who saw it actually occur. So like we had to talk to the cops once they came, and then they got all the other information. I've always made it a habit of walking to places like corner stores nearby, and the first time I ever felt anxiety doing it is the last 2 to 3 years. People drive like absolute sociopaths, and cops don't care whatsoever. I just like could not believe I couldn't believe with as busy as that area was, with as many people who witnessed this car, like saw the driver, saw the car, that the driver still drove off. And like what was crazy, he was in this parking lot, so it's not even like he could just quickly zoom off. He was having to like weave in and out, which meant that more people were able to clock the car and the driver and get pictures. And there were cameras everywhere. Who knows? Maybe drunk, maybe just in total shock, and their brain just kicked into like flight mode. They're like, I just have to go. I just have to go. Together review, no spoilers. Should I see? I think you should see it. I will say, I don't think it was like, it's my top horror that came out this year. I think it had some pacing issues. I think it had some writing issues. I think it's a good film for a person who needs like an introduction to body horror. If you're a person who's like, oh, I kind of want to get into the body horror genre, Together, I think, is the perfect film for you. Is the body horror a lot? I thought it could have gone much, much bigger. It's like I think the film kind of was confused at points. The third act was just not that great. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I guess the neon marketing campaign got me. Okay. The heavy neon marketing campaign. It got me. No, what happened is Will and I decided to go see a movie today, and we wanted to go see Naked Gun, but it was all sold out. And then we wanted to see Eddington, but they didn't have a showing until 7. And then we were like, okay, let's go see Fantastic Four. And then there weren't good seats. So the fourth option was Together. Substance set new modern body horror standard. Yeah, if you go in thinking it's going to be at all on the level of Substance, it's really not. There's barely any horror to it. Yeah, I don't think I blinked like once. I think a lot of the emotional elements of the film didn't work. I think the comedic elements were stronger, and I wish that it had gone like even I wish it had gone just like more in the direction of comedy. And I also think that Dave Franco and Alison Brie, I think they're really talented, but I do think they excel in comedy. I don't think the drama parts hit because I just don't think they really are dramatic actors. They've been overdoing the promo bit. Wait, did y'all see the one thing that was going around where people were like, ew, he's drinking her sweat-soaked towel. It's like, do you not understand that this is a promo? This is not like something that they're just doing after they have left yoga together. This is a promo that is part of their marketing still. It's just filmed. They're doing it in a way to make it seem as if it's not part of the marketing campaign. But yeah, I don't think that was sweat. They think there was that much sweat in her towel. You know what? Yoga, you do be sweating, but no, that was absolutely part of marketing. Dave and Allison really want everyone to know they're married. Will is so funny because he really doesn't know. He doesn't know the pop culture things I know. 3/4 of the way through the movie, he goes, wait, are they together? I was like, yeah, they have been together for about 13 or 14 years. I even told him that. Like before we watched the movie, I said, oh, I wish we could make a horror movie together as like a couple. Wouldn't that be so fun? Because I was referencing Dave and Allison making a horror movie together as a couple. And he just kind of was like, oh, yeah. I go, you know what? This is evidence that when you say I don't listen to you, you don't listen to me. So anyway, Nan, go see it. I don't think you're gonna be like, oh fuck yeah, one of my top films of the year. I think there's some good moments. I think, as I said, the comedy is better than the drama in the film. Did you see Allison telling Dave she wants to have sex with Joel McHale in the Community movie to his face? That's very funny. Who is the couple that made A Quiet Place? That is Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. Okay, so anywho. Anywho, to wrap up the story, I hope that guy is okay. And it was just, it was one of those, I can't believe this happened right in this moment where I was about to walk into Baskin Robbins to pick up an ice cream cake. Like one of those wild, had I been 3 seconds later, then I would not have watched this. And like, I've never watched an accident like that before. I've seen plenty of, you pass something on the highway or you see two cars hit, and it was just very jarring, and I hope that guy is okay, and I hope he gets compensated. And oh God. And then we were coming back from the party later, and on the highway we passed an accident where there was like a destroyed motorcycle, and there was ambulance and cops, and Will was like, I don't think whoever that was made it. That stuff never leaves your mind. I've seen a few horrific crashes. It's haunting. Like the sound of it was just in my head all night. Both times people are in cars with seatbelts and airbags. Yes, wear your seatbelts. I mean, when I first moved to LA, I got my motorcycle license because I always wanted to ride a bike. I wanted to ride a motorcycle, and I also thought it would help me as an actor to have my license, to have that on my resume. And then I told my family that I got my license, and my uncle, who is usually a very quiet, reserved person, he just popped off at me. It was shocking. And he was like, "Are you fucking stupid? Do you want to die? Like, you will get hurt." And he scared me so badly that I never I never used my license. I never got a motorcycle. Because my uncle, who, as I said, he's such a chill, quiet guy, he was just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And so I went, "Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do this. I'll just not." When I was delivering pizzas during college, I passed by a crash where I said, "I don't think that person made it." Later that night, I found out it was my cousin who was 2 years older than me. Oh my God. Oh God, that is haunting. I'm sorry. My dad's friend had a motorcycle. The thing about motorcycles is it's not if, it's when. And everyone who rides a motorcycle will tell you that as well. It's not if, it's when. And so you basically have to like prepare every time you go out that this might be the day that you get hit. And so you wear protective gear, you have your helmet on, hopefully. I mean, not everybody does, but yeah, I have a family full of bikers, and every single one of them has been in multiple wrecks. Yep. I mean, my dad rode a motorcycle in college, and one day, his junior year, this woman, this young woman blew through a stop sign in SUV and just smashed him, and he almost died. Of course, he didn't have a fucking helmet on, and so he had severe brain damage. He cracked his skull open. He could no longer play on the football team. He was in the hospital for a long time, and then could not walk for like 8 months. And it left him with permanent damage. And so when he went to go take, I think it was his MCATs, like my dad is a brilliant guy, super smart. But what it did was it slowed down his quick time response. So something that used to, he could quickly compute in his brain would just take him longer. And so when he went to go take his, not his MCAT, I think it was his medical boards, something like that, he could not finish the test on time. And he was getting everything right, but he just didn't have enough time to finish it. And this was before the ADA had passed. What year is this? Okay, Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law in 1990. So yeah, so this was right before then. And he just could not pass his boards. And so after the ADA passed, Then he was able to qualify for extended time. I think that's what it is. So he was able to then pass the boards once he had extended time. But yeah, all of that was the result of being in a bad motorcycle accident. Your dad's motorcycle accident paid for your parents' wedding. Well, that's one way to pay for a wedding. Anyway, if you ride a, oh my God, motorcycle helmet after a 70 mile per hour dismount, holy shit. Sheesh. Oh, I have some lint on here. Apparently, you're not supposed to wear this hat in Los Angeles because Dodgers fans will get mad at you. I went to softball today. I showed up in this Padres hat, and everyone was like, "What the fuck are you wearing?" I went, "Oh, I don't even know them. It's just a hat. My boyfriend gave it to me. I blame him." It was like the second I walked up and everyone saw I had this on, and then I had, I'm still wearing it. I had my sweat armband on. They were like, what are you doing? And I went, I didn't even know this was like a thing. So sue me. So I'm sorry. Jeez. SD stands for sucking dick. I thought it stood for sucking dick. I didn't know. Laminus, thank you for the tier 1. Mai Tai Vegas, thank you for the 8 months. Soft like a bunny, thank you for tier 1. You know, I do be like to cause some controversy. I do like to stir up some shit even when I don't know that I am. It would be preferable if you wore a MAGA hat. Well, sorry, I'm not Sydney Sweeney. Did you guys see that? Did you see that Sydney Sweeney's voter record was her registration, her voter registration records were pulled, and it said that she was registered as a Republican Party member in Florida since June 2024, which is very funny. And I think this tweet actually, oh shit, I thought I retweeted it. There was a tweet I saw that was perfect, where it's like, I don't know if this is something where Sydney has, like, that she's been Republican this whole time, or that she decided last year, you know what? I think now is as good of a time to be a Republican. Like, she didn't even register at 18, that this was like this. Oh no, the tweet was like, okay, maybe she moved to Florida and had to move her, obviously, move her voter registration to the new state. Or what's funnier is this idea that she registered for the first time last year with Donald Trump running for the third time. Like, what the hell? Sure. You know what? Why not? Now seems as good of a time as any. There's a tweet that said Sydney Sweeney's Amanda Seyfried's Wario, and I keep thinking about it. I also saw that. If she decided last year timing is as great as ContraPoints coming out as per Israel a week before CNN started acknowledging the genocide. Yeah, it's kind of the thing you see where you go, now hold on a second. What if it's a calculated move to get herself out of the spotlight after getting her bag? You know, I have to say, as soon as conservatives, as soon as MAGA jumps in on something and makes it their entire personality, I like to just move on. I like to look at them uh feeling so like, aha, we've won. Choke on that lib. And it's like, y'all are the ones who are being so weird now. Okay. Y'all the ones who make this your entire personality. And the other thing too is now that they're posting photos of Sydney in lingerie, like really sexy pictures, and going, post this to make a liberal cry. And I'm like, what is it with you guys? Because most of the time you'll post pictures of women like that and be like, liberal women are all whores. Like, you'll post a photo of a woman in lingerie compared to like a woman in a trad wife outfit as a way of trying to say that progress has gone too far, that like we have to return to a conservative culture. But there is no consistency because these people have they have popcorn in their brains. They did that 2 months ago. Yeah, they have popcorn in their brains. It's getting fried by the sun's rays. Yeah, so now it's we don't have a problem with a woman in lingerie showing off her body as long as it's Sydney Sweeney in this context of we are now owning the libs. Okay, you got us. Wait, that would have been after she was in the news for the MAGA. Yeah, the MAGA family members thing was like a year or two ago. Yeah, I wonder if she saw that and went, you know what? Maybe I do want to be MAGA. Maybe I do. We'll just change their argument to win an argument they have no moral or intellectual consistency. Yeah, no, there's no consistency because there's no like principles here. There's no there's no like solid core of beliefs. It's all just finding things to be angry about, but then also try and utilize as a way to win the war against woke liberals. Remember the producer last year that called her a bad actress and got slammed for it? Yeah, I do. I think I covered that. And I was like, this lady's mean. And then it's funny because over the last year I go, no, I think I kind of feel the same way. I think so the party that I went to last night. Oh, let me tell another story too. Hold on. I'm going to turn the air. Okay, so first of all, there were 3 people at this party who said, I've seen your takes popping off. And whenever somebody says that, I kind of just pause and wait. And I'm like, yeah? How do you feel about those takes? Because people will say that to me. They'll go, I've really seen you popping off lately on like my TikTok or my Instagram. I'm like, yeah, in like a damn she's based. I have seen you because there have been times that someone says that and then they just leave it at that, and I'm like, that's cool. It's all good. You know what? Maybe we don't even get into it. But anyway, specifically, I had a couple guys who were like, who said, I was watching your Sydney Sweeney short vid, and at first I was preparing myself to be like really mad about your take. And then I found myself nodding and agreeing, and then at the end being like, I actually think she's completely correct. And I went, well, you know, I do have some takes with a capital T, and sometimes I may be completely correct. But the story that I wanted to tell yesterday. So, a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a while, he, like, hours into the party, he came over to me and he was like, "Can I talk with you?" I said, "Sure." I'm in the middle of taking a shot. I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So we go over into a quiet place and we're trying to talk. And this is like what happens sometimes at parties is that you'll go off to talk with somebody and then 5 people will gather around you, even when you're like, "Hey, we're having a conversation." And then people they don't get it. They don't recognize it. And then you start talking, they go, "Oh, well, I guess this is pretty serious." And it's like, yeah, did you not get the vibe of like, here we went into a quiet part of the house to have a conversation and you walked over and I said, "We're having a conversation." And then you still stood there and then you went, "Oh, yikes, talking about politics. Like, guess I should walk away." Yeah. A quiet place. So this friend said, and what's crazy is like, I just knew what it was going to be about. I knew it was going to be about Palestine. And he was like trying to express to me, and I said, "It's okay. You know, you can just, this is a safe space here. We're all good." And he basically said, you know, when I saw what you were saying after October 7th, because he was raised in a very Jewish community, Jewish family, went to temple. His parents are extremely pro-Israel. The people around him are extremely pro-Israel. And he said, after I saw what you were saying after October 7th, like, I have to admit I was really upset at you. And I said, I go, "You wouldn't be the only one. I knew when I started speaking out publicly for Palestine that I was probably going to lose people in my life, whether I knew it or not." And so I said, I just nodded like I'm sure, like I'm sure. And he said, I was really angry and I was just like, she doesn't understand anything. He's like, but then I started to, you know, as time went on, I started to realize like, I don't know anything. I don't know anything except what I have been raised to believe. And when I started to question that, when I started to challenge that, like with my friends and my family, it was as if nobody wanted to engage. And it was just all, you know, these kind of like the sentiment of, how dare you? You know, how could you say these things? Like, we support Israel no matter what. And he's like, and so I started trying to educate myself more. And, you know, I came to realize that the things you were saying that because of like, essentially, you know, because of the truth of it all, and not because you were like, you know, not because you didn't understand or because you had been, that you had been brainwashed. And in fact, it was that a lot of us who grew up in these families and these communities where we were totally inundated with like all this propaganda. And then he started screaming about, he's like, "But baby needs to die. Baby needs to die." I was like, totally, absolutely. I go, but I think this is I go, look, I recognize how hard it must be to have grown up that way. And when you start to challenge everything you've been told, you're going to get pushback from people who are not on that same journey as you. And I was like, it's similar divisions have happened in families where you have like young anti-Zionist Jewish people, Jewish kids with their parents who are like so indoctrinated, and it causes these major divisions, similarly to when Donald Trump was elected for the first time. And there were these lines that were drawn in families, and like some Some families, people don't speak to each other anymore. Some of them, they have to agree to like, we just cannot talk about this. I mean, it's a difficult thing, right? It's always a personal thing. Whatever you do with your family, that those are your decisions. Like, even in my own very liberal family, there are topics that I feel like I just cannot broach anymore when I go home because I'm never home. And I also know it's like I can't make any inroads here. I can't get there are just issues that I have family members who are super party brained. They're super like Democratic Party brained on still. And it just leads to a really contentious atmosphere when I'm home. Even when like I'm not yelling, I'm trying to be chill. It still is like, these are really emotional. These things can just get really emotional, and it happens like in almost every family. And so anyway, so I'm talking to my friend and I said, look, Caitlin, stop. And that guy she was talking to, Ben Platt. It's true. I was talking to Ben Platt, and first I said, you were great in Dear Evan Hansen. Don't listen to the haters. Okay. And don't look up anything that I said 2 years ago, because it's not true. I didn't mean any of it. A lot of times those who believe the most crash the hardest when they realize the truth because they can't believe how blind they were. Yeah. So anywho, I was talking to him. I said, I totally get it. Wow, Ashley, I'm sorry. Ugh. Yeah. That's tough. This is you can't get your parents to budge. You can keep trying. But it gets to a point that sometimes people just have to get there on their own, and you have to hope that they can. So, okay, I said to him, I was like, look, I totally understand, and I am I'm sorry that you have been struggling with your family as you've been like on this journey where you recognize, what's happening to Palestinians is wrong, and it's not something where you have to even know all of the realities of what Palestinians have been through for a long time now, but like you just saw with your own two eyes, and that was stronger than the propaganda that you had been raised to believe in. I said, what you have seen with your own eyes has broken through the has broken through all of the narrative, the rhetoric that you were raised to fully believe in and to push to other people as well. And I said, look, I'm always here as a resource. I am not going to, if there's something you don't know, if there's something you still are, maybe you don't even know, but that like you still haven't dismantled, the propaganda on. I'm always here to help. And because he was like, I want to read more and I don't know where to start. And I was like, well, I have plenty of resources that I can provide you. And I hate this, but like, this is such a reality where when somebody is in a position like that, often I will start by like, here's Elian Pape's 10 Myths of Israel. This is an Israeli historian that I could first and foremost, and I'm not saying my friend like would not engage with Palestinian scholars and authors, but I also know that sometimes for people they have to start with those that they perceive would be like that like are in their same situation. You know, sometimes you have to start people off with those kinds of resources. Right. Yeah, a language they understand, someone who has shared experiences. It's like, here's Norm Finkelstein, whose parents literally were in the Holocaust, who's been one of the, he's been a major advocate for Palestinian liberation for years. And he can dismantle every fucking BS line and piece of propaganda. I feel like my mom can be so easy to sway, but she still thinks all the images out of Gaza are faked. It's because she wants to believe that. That's what it is with a lot of people. It's like, because the second that you start believing that things are true, and those walls start crumbling, like it can rock you so thoroughly that it can be a terrifying feeling. It like for some people, being able to maintain that dissonance, that kind of fantasy is a way of not having to not having to like accept this brutal reality. It's easier to lie to yourself. 100%. I highly recommend One Day Everyone Will Have Been Against This. Is an accessible and insightful book. Yeah, I mean there are so many resources out there, but I think a lot of times it has to start with you yourself waking up and going, I've been lied to, and I have believed a lot of things that I know now aren't true. And maybe you don't know how much is false, has been twisted, has been presented to you in a way to, control your beliefs. But you have to go on that journey by yourself, and you can be guided, and you can, however you get there. But when I'm trying to convince someone of Israelis brutality, I start with talking about my experience visiting my family in Palestine. If they're not convinced, I can then tell them about my family's experiences. And one thing that I was talking to my friend about too is I said, look, so much of what I do too is I diligently always am trying to explain the differences between Zionism and Judaism, and how cynically they have been conflated by Israel and by Israel defenders because of the way that is used to provide cover for Israel's crimes. And I said, and in effect that creates anti-Semitism because it monoliths Jews. It makes all Jewish people around the world responsible for the actions of the state of Israel, like committing these crimes in their name. And my friend was like, thank you. Like that's something that I also try to explain, but I don't know enough. I was like, trust, I do this all the time. I said, and ultimately, if we believe in democracy, if we believe in dismantling systems of oppression, if we believe in equal rights for all people, like there is a path through here. There is a way to talk about this where no one has to lose their rights for another group to gain theirs. That should never be that should never ever be the case. I think some people need to know that they're allowed to change, and it's not going to be easy to dismantle everything they've been primed to believe, but that it's also for the better for them to get through that change. Yeah, and I think this is the kind of stuff that also shows you the difference between how conversations can go in real life. When you're talking to people that you have a relationship with, that you have built trust with, and you're not just like screaming at strangers on Twitter. Because he told me, he's like, yeah, I've kind of gotten into it on Twitter. I was like, don't do that. I said, don't get into arguments with people on Twitter. He's like, because some people told me that some people have just told me that all Jews should die, and And it's like, no, man, because there are, first of all, fucking almost the entire platform is bots. Okay. So you may be arguing with a bot, and the platform is run by Elon Musk, who's a Nazi. So there are absolutely Nazi bots and also just Nazi accounts that have tried to co-opt this serious movement for, the liberation of an oppressed people into pushing white supremacy. So genuinely, I think if you're getting stuck on this journey because you're arguing with someone on Twitter, you don't want to be expending all your energy there, because you also may be arguing with a Nazi bot. a botsy. Twitter is basically 70% Nazi bots and videos of women getting beat up. Yeah, it's not the place where productive, empathetic, genuine conversation is taking place. It is unfortunately and sadly really not a platform that thoughtful discussion and discourse can take place. And it's really aside from the botsies, it's a place where I think people who just feel very strongly about things one way or another express that and then dig their heels in. And it's anyway, so I really appreciated that conversation I had with my friend, and I said a million times, I was like, look, I will always get lunch. I will always get a coffee. You can always call me. If you're feeling alienated, if you're feeling isolated, like, you don't have to be alone. And there are a lot of people around you, or people you can find who understand and who can be here to support and be in solidarity. And I said, I do hope that you continue on this journey, and I'm sorry that it has created a lot of tension in your family. And yeah, I mean, he was telling me just like racist is like very Islamophobic things that are in the family group chat. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I think, and he kept saying, but my parents are so liberal. They're so liberal, like even progressive on everything else. I'm like, yeah. That is, I think there's something I think that's extra difficult for people in families that are otherwise liberal, progressive, but are so staunch on the issue of Israel, versus like your family being full MAGA, where you go, yeah, I don't expect them to be good on any issue. There is no like, oh, well, everything else they're so empathetic on, and they seem to be on the right side on, except for this one thing. Like, I know it's more of like when you have MAGA family members, when they don't say something super hog and you're like, oh, okay, well, now that is a surprise. All right. A lot of libs don't realize there's a ton of liberal racists. Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that everyone... I get a lot of this because I also have been there. A lot of us have been there. I remember the first time I realized like I was really breaking off from a lot of my liberal family. And I had always been so proud of the fact that like growing up in the Midwest, we were usually the one liberal family around. And then, you know, when Obama was running for office, my family was, we had a really important role in the caucus in our district. And we, like, my mom flipped a lot of people who were longtime Republicans to becoming Democrats and voted for Obama. And like, I just always remember feeling this sense of pride that it's like, oh yeah, there's all these conservatives around, but my family is like staunch, bleeding heart liberals. And then as I got older and started to form my own belief system and break away, it was like seeing a lot of the blind spots and bigotries in my liberal family. Of like, how could this be possible? But I thought that like we were the perfect ones, the good ones. And anyway, so that can be jarring for people. And I think there's a lot who on post October 7th, as it pertains to Israel and Palestine, I think there's a lot of people who are experiencing that, have been experiencing that. Like this is their kind of waking up moment where they go, what the hell? Like, did I just never notice that my family was deeply Islamophobic? Like, did I never notice that like my family would support something like genocide? Like an apartheid system? I don't get it, but we're the house that like believes in Black Lives Matter, that believes in, gay and trans rights. Like, what? Both your parents love Elon and Trump. That's rough, dude. I'm sorry, because there's like a lot of people whose parents love Trump. To have them also love Elon. Oh. I said I like Zoran, and my dad started talking about war crimes done by the Viet Cong during the war. Like, the fuck do I do with that? The fuck do you do with that? You just look. Everyone's going to operate differently in their families. Everyone's going to operate differently. How much you push back. Some people just straight up don't talk to family members. Some people, they just maintain we will never talk about these things if we want to have a relationship ever. Of course, it's always funny though. I always notice that like the parents, you're like uncle, grandparents, the people in your family who have very heinous political beliefs, they're the ones who will always keep bringing it up, who will keep still trying to force it. And it's like, man, you're violating the agreement. It's you. Like, you're still allowed to talk about this, and I just have to sit here and be like, do you notice who's bringing it up all the time? Who's always trying to slip in these little, like, I see you. I hear you. You think I don't notice? You think I don't notice? So when you keep doing that, like, yeah, I am going to push back on you. Yeah, I am going to fucking say something because I hear you making these saying this little bullshit over here. And then they'll be like, let's not talk about politics. Like, yeah, I thought we agreed. I know many conservatives, not full MAGA, that also hate Israel simply because of Yeah, I mean, there's certainly, of course, like you have even people in Congress like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So it's not it's Israel can be, you have liberals who fully support Israel, and then you have conservatives who it's like they're MAGAs all hell and don't support the actions of Israel. Like, it is one of those. It's one of those things that there's not necessarily a one-to-one, depending on where you fall on the political spectrum. When you say, hey, that's fucked up to say, and they get mad. Like, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know. I mean, trust, I have been through this a lot, and it's like I am expected to have this level of patience, whereas you are not. I am the one who sits here and tries to keep the peace, and you do not. It's always you. It's always you. You're always the one doing this. And imagine like if it were the other way around and I was constantly saying things. I was chirping, I was like making sure that I got my digs in. I got, I'm just going to say a passing comment. You would fucking respond to it too. You would respond back. And so when you do it, then so help me God, I'm going to respond at some point. I am going to respond. I broke through my transphobic uncle on trans rights through gun rights. Once I said we're getting guns to protect ourselves from federal overreach, it all clicked for him. You're like, yeah, I'm going to be locked and loaded. I'm going to get a trans gun. Uncle was like, oh, you're speaking my language now. Multiple family members have called me a self-hating Jew for being anti-Zionist, despite me probably being the most religious in my family. Oh, brother. Yeah. That stuff, it cuts deep. It does. I know it's not easy to brush it off. Like, it's tough. It's really hard. So, It is one of those, I will never tell somebody how to operate in their own family, how to have relationships with family members that they, where you fundamentally have moral differences. And it's something that you just have to figure out what's going to work best in your life, and then find community with people who you are in solidarity with, who do understand. So you don't feel like you're losing your mind too. My family pokes at me specifically because I'm the only leftist. Yeah. There are sometimes funny moments when you're the peacekeeper. My favorite is letting people spew the most ridiculous shit and just letting them sit with it without replying because they know that they sound... You hold up a microphone. You're like, here. Here you go. Anything else? Anything else? Do any of you all know anyone IRL who believes all celebrities are trans as a deal with the devil for fame? I always wonder if those people have friends and family they actually talk to. I had an aunt who started to... I was like, I don't know what's cooking her brain, but her brain is getting cooked. And I remember this is before the family blew apart and the group chat is no longer, but she started saying stuff about, don't you notice how all these celebrities have trans kids? And then kind of started to try and like make inferences and connections to I don't fucking know. And yeah, I mean, you see someone falling down the rabbit hole, and sometimes you can get them out of it, and sometimes they just go deeper and deeper. You know what it is too, because I'm not on Facebook. I have to believe a lot of this is happening on Facebook. It's like, oh, I know where all y'all are spending your time. It's on Facebook. And that's a platform I haven't been on in years. And I know it's like mostly boomers posting, AI shit and being like, can you believe this? But yeah, I am sure that is a breeding ground for a lot of people of a certain age who are repeating the most insane things you've ever heard. And you're like, where the hell are you getting this? Oh, you probably got this off of Facebook. Yeah. I had a beloved middle school orchestra teacher who randomly started posting transphobic stuff on Facebook. So sad. My aunt too started, because my mom's not on Facebook, So she would be on Facebook. And then I know she would try to send that stuff to my mom and like, you know, be in her ear. I was like, Mother, you're not going to get secondhand Facebook insanity. Like, please, no. No. I refuse for you to get secondhand Facebook nonsense. What happened to the Aaron De Niro interview? Oh, no, I was trying to... No, what we were working on scheduling was like having her be a part of... having her be a part of Creators for Peace, but she couldn't make it in town. My family never shuts up about how smart they think I am, but as soon as I open my mouth about politics or like, I don't know, basic empathy, they act like I was born yesterday and don't know shit. I have also experienced that. Where you go, okay, is it that I'm really smart and know and I know what I'm talking about? Except for when you disagree with me on something, and then it's that I'm just being a woke leftist. What is it? Raise your hand if that's you and your family. Your dad thinks Facebook's woke, so he deleted his account. That's good. All of y'all who have all of you who have this issue with your parents, tell them that Facebook has gone woke. Be like, I don't know if you heard, but word on the street is that Facebook has gone super woke. So you probably want to get away from there. Smart, but when you advocate for any progressive politics, and then you're just a dumb. Then you know not of what you speak. You know not. All right. Okay, y'all. We're an hour into stream. Is it lighter discourse time? Is this the blackface Labubu? As I said, words that... How do you even explain to someone who wakes up from a coma? Someone wakes up from a coma and they're like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? And you're like, do you know about the blackface Labubu? And then they just go back in the coma. La baby, do you know about the TikTok? Let me tell you what's going on. So there's this lady who blew up on TikTok because she pretended in like a comedy. She made these comedic the boo boo, which she goes la boo boo, and don't even ask me to explain those. And she would say that it was 24 karat gold and that she had the only 24 karat gold the boo boo. And now apparently she did blackface on one of them and has been called out for it. Honestly, it's one of those, like, you really should probably just go back in the coma if you want. Okay. Here's the should I start with this one, the deleted video? You know what's wild? I honestly, sometimes I worry because I'll be late to a trend or like something that's popped off on TikTok, and I'll be like, okay, you know what? Let's finally take a look at this. And I feel as if this has happened a couple times now where immediately after I watch something and we have fun and we laugh, then the milkshake duck happens. Like, we get milkshake ducked within 48 hours. I'll be like, hey, remember how we all having a good time? Like, I'm so late to the game. And then I really think I should just always wait an extra 24 hours. Be like, let me wait one more day and then I'm sure something will happen. Watch this one first, the other's an apology. Okay.
First, KSI Labubu. So I have been a fan of the Sidemen for years and years, and I can't tell you how.
Why? Why would you do? Oh no. And then the caption says, "Welp, there goes the Labubu lady's fame. She quickly deleted it after the comments said she was getting canceled, but girl, blackface on a doll and calling it KSI ain't it." If you don't know who KSI is a professional boxer. He's a musician. Most importantly, of course, he's a black man, and that's why she is so egregiously racist, doing blackface on a Labubu doll and calling it KSI. Look, he does music, okay? He does music. So maybe that's what you know him from. I think he's also like kind of shitty. I honestly, I gotta be so for real. There's a lot of shitty people that are in the content space or adjacent to it. So I kind of can't keep track of like who's done what. Not that that matters, but in case you're like, why have I heard his name before? I think he like did Lunchly with, he was like part of the Lunchly thing with Mr. Beast and Logan Paul. Anyway, he works with Logan Paul on Prime. Yeah, I think does YouTube and stuff like that. So, Urbane, I'm just gonna give you a PSA here, okay? Okay, I'm gonna give you a PSA. You came in here and said, why did Frogan ban me for asking her if she covered the issue with his son? I'm not Frogan. This is not Frogan's stream. And there's a general rule of thumb. There's Twitch etiquette where you don't go into another streamer's stream and ask why you got banned in someone else's stream. I don't care if someone comes in here and they're like, why did Will ban me? I don't care whoever it is. It is like 101, Twitch etiquette 101, where you don't go into another person's stream and ask them something about another streamer. Whether it's why did I get banned? You know, why is this streamer whatever? Okay? All right? And a lot of times you'll just get banned. You'll just get banned in someone else's stream. If you ask this, people won't even take the time to tell you what I'm telling you now. They'll just ban you. Yes, and this is not appropriate, okay? Please don't keep doing this. Please take this in, and don't repeat this behavior. Now, I won't ban you because I want you to learn from this, but don't do this again. And please don't try to stir anything up between streamers who are in similar, you know, who know each other. Okay. All right. Anyway, back to the racist Labubu. Okay. Caitlin. All right. Anyway, so whatever. Thank you for the 31 months. Does this mean you get a 24 karat gold Labubu? Well, considering that the Labubu lady was the only one who had the 24 karat Labubu, so I don't think that you will. All right. So if you missed the stream where we finally had looked at the 24 karat gold Labubu lady, this was a couple days ago. We're like, oh, this is funny. This is great. So the reason that we're following up here is because she has been very popular on TikTok. Everyone who's chronically online who's seen the 24 karat gold Labubu lady is always like, my Labubu, I have the only 24 karat gold Labubu. So it's very much an internet thing. If you don't know what this is, congratulations. But she's in hot water because she's a fucking racist ding dong who did this.
Excited I was to pick up this KSI Labubu. I was so excited. So I paid £100,000 for the KSI Labubu, and I think it's just perfect. I love it. This is with my collection of most expensive Labubu.
UK racism. Classic.
Of the world, obviously, because they are top celebrities.
Classic.
And they're probably the biggest YouTubers out there. I don't know if there's anyone else from the Sidemen that I'll get in Labubus, because obviously this is a one-off.
girl.
I am the only
Okay,
person
thank
in
you
the
for the
world that
gifted
has the
sub.
KSI Labubu. Now, the bandana that is actually on the KSI Labubu is actually one of KSI's bandanas that he used in one of his rapping
Like, you
videos.
can't even listen to what she's saying. You can't even, like, you just, because you can't stop staring at the insanely racist KSI Labubu.
So that is why I'm the only other person to own the KSI Labubu. Obviously, no one else is going to have one because no one else is going to be able to get a bandana from him like I've been able to. Anyway, I hope you all love my KSI Labubu as much as I do. I think he's super cute.
She also has TikToks of her making Chinese people eating dogs jokes. Classic. Great. I mean, that's another, that's another, like, UK racism staying undefeated. Okay, now let's go to her apology video.
And talk about the Labubu video that I deleted. Now, in no way, shape or form did I intend for that video to be racist or...
Look, I know I did blackface on a Labubu, like comically racist blackface, and I called it my KSI Labubu. But I did not intend for it to be blackface, even though doing the blackface in and of itself is extremely racist. I didn't intend for it to be like racist on top of that. I just did that, but I didn't intend for it to be like extra racism. Go to her account after she's just gone back to posting like nothing's happened, and the comments, she's gone back to posting like nothing has happened. My Labubu, I accidentally tripped. Actually, what happened is I accidentally tripped, and that's how the blackface ended up on my Labubu. So, I think we should just all agree to move on, I think we've had enough, and we're just going to go back to what I was doing before and pretend like this never happened. Actually what happened is that wasn't me. So let me just say, it wasn't me. It was somebody who looks like me and managed to get my phone and post on my TikTok, but it wasn't me. It was my evil twin. It was her. She's the one who's got the only blackface Labubu, and I'm the one with the only 24 karat gold Labubu.
Or against anyone. So I create content on a daily basis, and I had uploaded the Pearl Labubu this morning. And I tend to go off the comments, like people have said, sapphire Labubus, emerald, so I've done them. And someone said a KSI Labubu. So that is where the idea firstly came from.
Time out. Okay, there's a big leap between emerald and sapphire Labubu. Okay, those are jewels. Those are minerals. Those are jewels, right? To a person, especially a person who is black. Okay, so just because somebody on the internet says something is never an excuse to then do that and be like, well, somebody on the internet suggested it. Do you know how often people on the internet suggest things to me that are extremely heinous? And if I just went off every suggestion that I got off the internet, well, I would have killed myself a long time ago. So I think just so we know, okay, anyone can suggest anything on the internet, and it doesn't mean then that we do that thing and then go, but somebody on the internet told me to do it. It would have been so funny if she showed the comment and pointed at their username. She like zooms in. She's like, see, it's I'm a racist 69 who suggested that I make a KSI Labubu. So what was I supposed to do? Not do that? What was I supposed to not make a KSI and a Labubu with blackface? In one of her responses, she says, I didn't know about blackface until today. I'm English, but went to school here in Spain, and we're not taught about this here. Insert the curb your enthusiasm. I don't think so.
Now, I haven't got anything against anyone, no matter what shape or colour they are. At the end of the day, I see us all equal.
What shape? It doesn't matter. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in his sight. What shape? Yeah. I love all shapes of people. Doesn't matter if you're shaped like a house, if you're shaped like a telephone pole, if you're like a rhombus, maybe a circle, a square. I love all shapes. If maybe you're shaped like a Labubu. All shapes matter. All shapes matter.
Obviously, we're all humans and we're all on the same planet. So my intention was not for it to come across racist at all. At the end of the day, TikTok is a platform.
Don't make me tap the button. Don't make me tap the button. That's going to pull up the intention versus impact. Don't make me.
Platform for entertainment and to have a laugh. And not at any point when I made that video did I want to offend anyone. My idea there was to make all of the sidemen and make some funny videos of Labubus as a sidemen. I didn't think, obviously now I've learnt my lesson that I can't do that. And, you know, a lot of people have said, well, it is racist, whether you didn't think it was. So I will take accountability on that and I'll say sorry.
She's like, some people have said, well, you know, doing blackface is racist. And I'm not going to say those people are wrong, but all I'm saying is, you know, I wasn't trying to be racist. Once again, let me talk about my intention. And my intention was not to be racist. So some people who maybe the shapes of these people, I actually don't like too much. Maybe before when I said I don't care what shape you are. Well, there's some people whose shapes I do care about, but I'm not going to name shapes. But anyway, those people said it was racist. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You see, I think we can agree to disagree. I mean, this is just like dumb. This is just bad apology 101. Someone who does something that is, it's not even like 2025 racist. It's like, hold on a second. You're doing blackface in 2025? In 2025. We haven't been through this enough? Like, I thought that we were kind of past that particular racist thing. But I guess not. I guess we're still doing that one. My petty gripe is her self tanner in the side of her hand. Oh, as somebody who has had many spray tans, who's applied spray tanner before, I know a missprayed hand when I see one. I think it does need more ukulele, and then maybe we can talk.
Sorry to anyone that I have offended. So once again, I am deeply sorry to anyone that I have offended.
I like that she's also delivering this in the same way that she would do one of her Labubu videos. Like the hand resting on her cheek being like, I'm so sorry if I offended anyone. It's the same voice, same lighting, same setup. This is my apology, Labubu. This is my apology, Labubu. I'm sorry if you got upset by me doing a thing that you think is racist, even though I didn't intend for it to be.
It wasn't in my intentions to offend anyone by doing them videos. All I was doing is trying to...
Just once I want someone to come out and be like, actually, I wanted to offend all you motherfuckers. Like, here's my apology video, and it was my intention, and I totally meant it. And I want you to be offended because I meant it offensively. And yeah.
Create a bit of content to spread some joy, and obviously it was a big mistake because I shouldn't have done that. So there is my apology, and I am very sorry to anyone that I have offended.
Oh, girl. She posted this a few hours. Wait.
I'm the owner of the one and only.
Wait, she posted this a few hours after the apology video and has posted a few since. Oh my God, she's straight up acting like nothing has happened.
Moonstone.
Wait, also she said, there is my apology. There is my apology.
Labubu. Now, yesterday when I showed this Labubu, I explained that we had to go in a spaceship.
I have to see. Wait, oh my God. I wish I could just... Oh, I can just scroll down. You didn't even give it a full day? Hello? Just throwing it under the rug, I see. Oh, girl, we didn't forget. Because it's all in the same day. Oh, you moved over that real quick. Back on her grind. I'm crying. Girl, fall off is crazy. And then one person, people are so soft. Business as usual. And she's still going at it. Continuing the bit not even a day after the blackface Labubu is crazy. If I accidentally did something horrifically racist, I'd probably not immediately return to business as usual, but maybe that's because I'd actually feel bad. We did not forget. Ignore the positive comments. She looks like Katy Perry in this. Well, I mean, considering Justin Trudeau, famous for having done blackface, I think they would get along splendidly. Also, I have seen so many videos of Justin Trudeau at Katy Perry's concert, and I have never seen a man looking more divorced. I actually am going to take this. The ignore the positive comments heart. I'm going to take that and put it into my inventory and pull that one out one day. Ignore the positive comments. Oh my God. Oh God. Do you know what's... I finally have figured it out too. So she looks exactly like this girl that I met when I had first moved to LA. I met her through a friend of mine. Literally looks the same. Lips pumped with filler, very sharp eyebrows, like big eyelashes, fake tan, super dyed black hair. Not British, but this girl who looks exactly like her twin. I remember she would say like she would say super sketch things, but she's one of those white girls who like got a bunch of plastic surgery that let's just say like Kardashian style, before Kardashians then did Ozempic and lost all their weight, and would only date black men. Only date black men. She was one of those, like, she was what looked exactly like this woman. And maybe this is her, actually. I haven't seen that girl in a while. Maybe she is British now? I don't know. I don't know. All right. Well, that's that. Hold on. Oh, I thought she had posted 4. Wait, she's posted 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Labubu TikToks since the incident. 4 Labubu TikToks. Wow. You know, the grind never stops. She did not give a fuck. Fine, there's my apology. Okay. Anyway, back to the Labubus. Back to Can we watch the Subway My Queen? Yes. Yes. Here we go. All right, everyone. I have saved this for us. Chapel Roan Subway. Hot off the press.
I saw your green hair, beauty mark next to your mouth there on the subway. I nearly had a breakdown a few weeks later. Somebody wore your perfume, it almost killed me. I had to leave the room, it's just another day. It's not all right.
Oh, I'm already singing it. Wait, isn't that the green lady? That's the green lady. She got the green lady. This lady right here.
It's not all right till it's over. It's never over. It's just another day. It's not over till it's over. It's never over. I don't look for you on the staircase, or wish you thought that we were still soulmates. But I'm still counting down all of the days.
Will us let you know that gaming is back if you want to play. Oh my god, are we already gaming right now? We're already gaming right now. Okay, let me finish this.
Till you're just another girl on the subway. Made you the villain, evil for just moving on. I see your shadow.
Yeah, if the gang is ready to game now, I will jump in. I was gonna watch the Jinx, Monsoon, and Z-Way interview, but if everybody is gonna play now, is everyone ready now? Will? I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay, let me finish this.
See it even when the lights off. I made a promise if in 4 months this feeling ain't gone. Well, fuck this city. I'm moving to Saskatchewan. It's just another day.
Not the rats, not the rats.
Till it's over.
Dragon Llama, thank you for trying for us.
It's just another day. It's not over till it's over. It's never trust myself that I won't say your name. But I'm still counting down all of the days till you're just another girl on the subway. She's got away. She's got away.
Is this her first music video since Casual?
She got away. She got away.
This video is so gay. Oh, hot to go, hot to go.
She's got away. She's got away. She got away. She got away. She got away.
Short hair, Chapel. Yes, babe, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right there.
She's got away. She's got
The yearning.
She's got away. She got away. She got away. She got away.
Love it. This sapphic anthem has been brought to you by City Bike.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Oh, gorgeous. Honestly, I loved that. I love that. And I'm like I'm all for songs that are just yearning. Just deep, deep yearning, you know. We await your in-depth analysis. I mean, first of all, the short hair Chapel Roan. Give it to me. Give it to me. New York is the lesbian of the world. New York is the lesbian of the world. And I love that Chapel, who is gay, makes music that highlights the fact that she loves women. Her yearning for a woman. She got away. I mean, I feel like that is okay. I'm gonna get yelled at if I don't jump it. Hold on a second. Like, here I am talking about like the just gorgeous sapphic overtones of a Chapel. Hello?
Hi, Caroline.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah?
playing the
Oh, yeah?
tutorial right now.
Oh, hi.
Yeah,
Hello.
go get the game and play the tutorial, Caroline.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mage Arena.
Do tutorial now. Be right back.
Okay, everyone's in the tutorial.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we'll have 8. We'll have 8 now. We're good.
I like that I'm talking about like just the gorgeous sapphic energy that Chapel brings. And then I enter this Discord call and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men. Also, Sam told me that I always do this thing where I'm in the middle of saying something that always sounds wild out of context as I answer a call. And she's always like, what the hell? What the hell are you talking about? Okay, what are we playing? Sorry. Hold on a second. What's the game?
not
I'm
what I
sorry. What is the game called again?
Mage Arena.
Arena.
Page Arena?
Mage.
Mage.
No, you got it.
Like magic.
Wait, Will, I thought we were
Like
playing
magic.
the Honey I Shrunk the Kids. What did you say?
Grounded, but later. First, we are playing Mage Arena.
First
Harry.
Okay, hold on.
Prithee, cast some spells.
This. You guys, am I gonna like this game?
Fireball.
Am I gonna like this game? I thought, yeah, we were supposed to play Grounded. That's what I thought it was. It's pretty. Oh, it's the one where you cast spells with your voice. Okay. Mage.
No, that's great. No, that's
I think it just
For
fits. I think it
centuries,
fits.
it has been debated which magical
I was
entity
Spider-Man
reigns
earlier. I'm
supreme.
doing a green screen stream tomorrow.
You
so
cast spells with your voice. Okay.
I had to buy a
Don't
bunch of shit.
tell Sam that I'm
Oh,
not
like
playing
to,
this.
for props and shit for.
Don't tell Sam
Yeah,
I'm playing this because
I
I'm
act out
pretty
random
sure she was the
scenarios
one who
chat
brought
gives
this up to me and
in
Will.
front of a green screen, and then they come
She
back
was
in
like,
a week.
Hey, Will, have you ever played
edits,
Mage Arena?
And last time I was a terrorist doing speed.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna deafen it for now. Practice your wizard voice. I'm sorry, all I can hear is "You're a wizard, Harry." Okay, I'm gonna open this up. Yeah, I'm confused because I thought we were playing Grounded. And I thought we were playing that later, but I guess we're doing this first. The first time I saw this played was Carter. Yeah, Carter's he's in the GC right now. Okay, so play tutorial. You guys know I hate tutorials.